There will definitely be a review. Whether or not it will be 6,500 that the NLC is demanding, that is the issue. I mean, coming from 18,000 to 66,500. But I think their argument is the fact that back when it was 18,000, the dollar was 150, petrol was selling for 97. So all these, by the time you look at all these things, and also electricity, there's been an increase in electricity tariffs. So life was much cheaper, was less costly back then. And so what we find is that, so now they're like, okay, fine, we need to increase our the real value of our income. And so looking at the dollar terms. But I think that they would meet them somewhere halfway. That is the expectation.
And what do you think this would mean for inflation numbers if perhaps eventually he signs off on this?
Yes, it would add some inflationary pressures because higher wages implies higher demand. And so if you're looking at the basic economic theory suggests that with high demand, there's a push-up in prices. But then also that now goes again as a cycle. And because of the higher prices, there's now increased activity. But usually it's first higher prices before there's a longer lag between when there's increased demand and price than when there's increased demand and increased supply. So, but we will see that eventually there'll be inflationary pressures, but these inflationary pressures will be eased as the increased demand is met with increased supply. Okay,
in all of these, the good news is that Brent oil is trading above $78. Dollars, and of course it seems the power output has risen about 4,000 megawatts. How will these cushion the effects of some of the bad news?
Well, so first of all, starting with Brent. So Brent has been trading above 70 for the last 3 weeks. And if you look compared to last year, around this time last year, average price was about 57. So it is about 28% higher than last year's figures. And also looking at our budget benchmark for 2018 is 47. So it's significantly much. There's a lot of room. And so the impact for trade balance, the impact for external reserves, the impact for exchange rate, liquidity, as well as even the value of the exchange rate as well is significant. And so what we would find, for example, it would mean increased revenue for the government and increased government spending. That would also have an impact on the real sector because it would mean increased infrastructure, construction, manufacturing. All those things would play in. So what that would then do is that also the fact that with increased liquidity, we can also then import some of the gaps that we may find due to the going into the planting season. So there's going to be a reduction in domestic supply, and so we can even that out with importing some more. But also looking at the power as well, that could also cushion some of the effects of the higher diesel prices. So as opposed to people using diesel to get alternative power, since power output is up now, so that also helps to cushion some of the effects of that.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Damilare.
Thank you for having me.
Right, Damilare Adeshola is one of the research analysts with Financial Derivatives Company here in Lagos. And the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria now has a foreign exchange rate publication portal to reflect on the spot market prices and debunk misconceptions about traders. The launch ceremony held on Wednesday in Lagos, where the association's president, Mr. Aminu Gwadabe, seized the opportunity to air members other constraints in the system.
The APCON had indeed, many Nigerians and businesses have endured the publication of subjective news in the industry through channels whose sources cannot be trusted. It was on this premise that APCON decided to challenge the status quo with its hero data and platform in the NigerBDC.com, which is being launched today as a viable voice in financial and business news reporting. Interestingly, all Central Bank of Nigeria licensed BDC in Nigeria have given the website their backing. So you can see we have no competition. We are talking about 4,000 affiliates that will make it easier for people that want to visit that website. All our members will be there, their name, their location, their contact information. So this is what makes it rich and different from any other engine room live exchange rate that will be available in the country and abroad. I'm therefore very delighted that we have come to this stage where we are ready to meet the needs of the market with news and investment information that is timely and objective. 3,500 central bank licensed bureau de change is not a joke. There is no any other you can see it. So that is to show there is a good competition. I also want to thank the CBN for giving the website no objection approval and for the support and patronage we expect from the regulator, even as we employ it to look seriously into major challenges facing the BDC sectors. We all know, and we have been talking to them, one of our major challenges. Like I said, we're a professional organization. We are not ready to go to street. And that is why we are coming with a solution to solve the concern. One of the concerns is multiplicity of exchange rate. Our members are really going to be distinct in business. The rates are so bad. So we're using this solution to even show what are the true realistic rates, so that the CBN can look into it and address our concern and address our request for rate review. Another challenge is that we face COT charges is very high. Sometimes we pay ₦1 per mil. So in a transaction of, say, a market day, we are supposed to spend about 7,200. Another challenge is VAT. It's only in Nigeria that our transactions are VATable. In America, in the UK, where we copy the system, the FX transaction there are VAT exempt. So we are talking and using this medium to talk to the relevant authorities to please look into these transactions, as it's becoming more expensive and difficult for our members to operate. We are also expected to render monthly, quarterly, half-yearly, and annual returns to these various departments of the same important corporate body, which could be very cumbersome, repetitive, and time-consuming for both the operator and the regulator. I want to also congratulate Nigeria for hosting the ID for Africa 2018, which the theme is harmonization of identity. So we are also appealing to the CBN to allow us to be using only the national identity management number as the only requirement for our FX transactions, instead of using international passports, ticket, visa, BVN. So,
and when we come back, experts assess FG's ease of doing business initiative. To stay with us.